Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GameReplays.org TS Invitational. TS means, I believe, the season. We're in Season 2, so it's the TS2 Invitational. We are with SK Gaming and Clan Milk, although I should put a disclaimer, it's really Milk Fat plus 4 friends, but this is game number 2. Game number 1, we saw SK Gaming take it with a pretty sizable lead, as they kind of got, a little bit outpicked, a little bit outplayed. Milk was just trying to do some very aggressive pushing, end the game as quick as possible, but SK Gaming were having none of it and took it by a pretty good lead. So that being said, game number 2, anything goes really. So we have yet to see a real clear, decisive winner. That being said, we have some bans coming out. So on the Legion, which is SK Gaming this time, we have Soul Reaper, Plague Rider, and Swiftblade as the last band there. Countered that by the Swindle Melons, by Soul Stealer, Kronos, and Nymphora. Nymphora, of course, came up in the world within the last few patches. As a note on that note, this is patch 1.0.10, just released tonight. I think we have been having some lag issues, some server issues, and some overall computer issues, because if you were with me, game number 1, we had quite the few number of pauses where I did a movie review of Godzilla and touted the virtues of rum and coke. So go watch that, come back here, join me here, and for those of you here, let's get into the picks. So first pickup, again, Engineer right off the bat. Now Engineer was being played by Milk last time, so think of the teams swapped Legion to Hellborn, Hellborn to Legion, but it was again another first pickup, so that Engineer going out to beat his this time. It countered that by a Hellbringer Magnus. Hellbringer not getting banned this round. I don't think he was banned last round, but nobody played him either. So two great support heroes coming out for Clan Milk. Hellbringer, of course, great initiator with that gigantic stun of his, the gigantic Malphus, who can now breathe fire in your face and immolate and all that fun stuff. Magnus, of course, put a portal key on him, ultimate, stun, yada yada yada, good fun times. Slither and Glacius have come out now for SK Gaming. Slither, don't know how they want to play the Slither this round, but Slither has the potential of being assist, carry, or semi-carry, and before you call foul on that, yes, I have seen Slither carry. Dilated Mind of Dilated Mind's Dream Team can definitely play a very mean Slither. He has a lot of fun with that. And yes, that is a shout out to Dilated Mind. Hi, we should play StarCraft again. Anyways, all that aside, Slither coming out, so good slow early game. Overall good, a lot of damage. His ultimate is that gigantic poison. He can stop your health regeneration, tick you down. He can die and still get an annihilation. Fun times, of course. Glacius, we all know and love Glacius. He's played literally 100% of the games that are really played in the competitive scene. Global mana regen, of course, his ultimate of just fun damage everywhere, and of course his two slows. Another really nice early game destroyer. Now we have Milk responding to all that with a Valkyrie Witchslayer pickup. Now Witchslayer and Valkyrie were both in game number 1, but on opposite teams, so it's almost kind of funny, like the teams are kind of the same, but kind of different. They're a little bit jumbled up. But of course, Valkyrie and Magnus are a great early game combo. If Magnus can get off a Lava Surge, you can throw down that arrow in from that Valkyrie. You could have a potential of up to 7-8 seconds of stun, depending on your level, and that really is just a lot of stun to deal with. Witchslayer, of course, the miniaturization, graveyard, fun times overall. The last pick up here for that SK Gaming, the Gladiator. Gotta love Gladiator. I don't really see him that much often. He is the Kunkka port from Dota. And now, of course, Dr. Repulsor. Dr. Repulsor is the Storm Spirit port from Dota. So there's a little bit of knowledge for you guys. But but yeah, both of those heroes, very great ganking heroes that can really rack up a lot of kills. So that puts us kind of at the Gladiator, Dr. Repulsor carries, Engineer, semi-carry / support. Really don't know how they want to play this Slither, but Glacius, really support all you can get. The last pickup here for that Milk clan, I should really call it a Milk organization or a Milk cohort of friends, who knows, whatever you want to call it. Nighthound. Nighthound is the last pickup on their team. An interesting pickup. We'll have to see how that goes. But there we go. Nighthound, Magnus Valkyrie, Hellbringer, Witchslayer against a Glacius, Gladiator, Engineer, Slither, Dr. Repulsor. So the shortened times means that we're going to be starting within a next few seconds. So SK Gaming versus Milk GR TS2 Invitational. I am Four Court Jester, and oh, I guess my volume went down because usually the announcer says let's get it on right there, but let's get it on. Okay, my camera decided to start up in the Hellborn, so we're going to watch the Hellborn. Lane ideas. I really don't think they're going to put a Nighthound mid. That could definitely be disastrous. Maybe a Valkyrie, maybe that Hellbringer, maybe even the Witch Slayer. Witch Slayer mid could definitely be fun. I'd really expect Magnus to go with the Valkyrie or the Hellbringer, and yeah. All I can really think of is they got 4 ranged heroes and 1 melee, which means maybe they are indeed going to send Swindle Melons middle with that Nighthound. He did go mid last game. Who was he last game? He was... I think he was Engineer, wasn't he? I can't even remember. But either way, he seems to be the mid hero. Nighthound mid. There you go, folks. Picking up an Iron Shield off the bat with a potion and a minor totem. Looks like that potion had to be donated, but that's aside. Oh yeah, we had a little bit of a ringer change up here for Clan Milk, so let's just quickly go over the Clan Milk roster today. We have Swindle Melons again playing here with Sam Milkfat. If anyone's seen the George Lopez skit, you know, I don't remember his last name. His first name Sam Milkfat. There you go. Sneaking, however you want to call it. He is also returning in this game, but we got 2 new guys. The IH crew, Boned Her and Ghoster. I'm not really too sure what to call Boned Her, so I'm just going to call him Witch Slayer all game. We did have a little bit of a mix-up with SK as well. They brought in Tobacco. There you are, Tobacco. Dr. Repulsor. Hi. Yep, fun times. To replace Cardinal, but we also have hello.jpg still with SK, so it's only 1 ringer to 4 yet again, but that's a little bit of the clan differences. So Dr. Repulsor here has gone mid. He will be soloing here. Up top, it looks like Valkyrie and Magnus combos found Slither and Engineer. Engineer's gun was unfortunately in the wrong spot there, but Slither was able to juke away from the Valkyrie arrows, so he might be okay. He might not. Turns around, gets off the damage, but now they might go in on Engineer. But hey, 2 ranged, especially with 2 slows against this Hellborn team. They kind of turned that right around, so 2 ranged versus ranged melee. Up top, we do got that Dr. Repulsor. We got that Nighthound mid. So Nighthound, I don't know. Until you're level 6, he's probably going to be losing this lane pretty hard, considering he can't even get near Tobacco playing that Dr. Repulsor. Down south, Glacius is going to be teaming up with Gladiator to take on Witch Slayer and Hellbringer. So again, from last game, this became very evident. We're going to see what happens here. I don't know why Gladiator's not helping. Oh, he tried. There goes the trap. Unfortunately, it was really not timed very well at all. But Hellbringer and Glacius trading off a little bit there. So again, this is kind of the problem with the Valkyrie Magnus team. If you go up against a double ranged lane like this one, the Engineer Slither combo, then you're at a disadvantage. You only have 1 ranged auto attack compared to the 2, and if you come into melee distance like this Magnus is doing right now, he is the prime target for being set up upon. So he is kind of, you know, the scapegoat of the situation. He has to be very wary, but overall the lane control does usually go to the double ranged, simply because they have that extra attack and that possibility of setting up on your melee, thus making him pretty much totally useless. So yeah, prediction here is that, you know, Legion are going to be winning out this lane, and so far they have done so by turning around that first blood gank, which just did not go off. Turned it around very well. Out goes the stun from Magnus. I guess they want a piece of this Engineer. Engineer throwing down a better gun that time, at least. It does not look like it's going to be found there. A ward coming out. Keg stand. No problem. Fog picking that up with the keg stand. And yes, keg stand is a thing, I say. So Valkyrie going down. Magnus, you know, he initiated, but then he ran away, and as such, Valkyrie did end up being the focus of both Slither and Engineer. So the Slither slow, going for a Toxin Ward second skill instead of Toxicity. it kind of, threw out that extra damage there. But Engineer also throwing down that keg stand just really ensures that, slow plus keg stand is really going to hit. Magmus doing another stun here on that Engineer. Engineer throwing out a gun, very nicely placed, right in front of Magmus, but that gun nerf, you can only get hit by 3 projectiles now, as you saw, which is going right through that Magmus. No problem and no damage. So that is a little bit of a nerf, but hey, keg stands are fun. Engineer loves to get drunk, and Engineer with all this extra money picking up a Blood Chalice right off the bat. So this could definitely be a lot of damage going up top, as he almost has infinite mana now, but of course it is at the expense of your health. I don't know if Magmus TP'd back or walked. I suspect he did use a portal, but now they're going to go in here on these 2 heroes, but no, it looks like they're going to try to just be satisfied with a slither kill, and the slither kill does indeed happen. So he goes down. The gun placement not super well there. Magmus was able to stay within his steam bath, but you can't be having 100% accuracy. That is just not going to happen. So a little bit of retribution coming down from this top lane, but it is the top lane where all the action is currently sitting. Nighthound level 5, Dr. Repulsor level 5. So even though these last hits and denies are going off, Nighthound has been able to stay at least up with the levels. Dr. Repulsor is kind of winning the lane. He is sitting at 22-8 for those creep kills, whereas this Nighthound unfortunately is sitting at 6 and 2. So gold difference is definitely very evident, but ranged mid against melee mid, especially if you're a Nighthound, especially if you're a Dr. Repulsor, those magnets can easily bring you into the red, no problem. Maybe even finish you off this early into the game. Witch Slayer and Hellbringer. Looks like, however, someone found a monkey, because down that monkey goes. Slither picking up that kill. I wonder what was on it, if anything. But either way, kind of annoying. No more monkey. Who was it coming out to? It was probably putting this bottle on Valkyrie. So somebody found it. I guess it was the ward that found it, and down it goes. This turret, still quite the creeping tool, but just not nearly as effective as it used to be pre-nerf, because everything can only get hit 3 times in a row now by that gun, and then essentially it just does 0 damage for the rest of its life until you cast another one. So fun times. Dr. Repulsor in the mid, and Nighthound now level 6. Now you're probably going to see a lot of the majestic flourishing of that Nighthound, as he's probably going to be able to pick up quite a few last hits here on Dr. Repulsor, because Dr. Repulsor, he is out of a bottle, he is out of health. Now's your time. Tobacco now being chased out of his lane. There we go. Putting up the cloud, getting off an auto attack, jumping right behind him, picking that up. Very ballsy of Swindle Melons to do that, but at the same time, whatever gets you the kill. Slither and Engineer in trouble up top, and by that I kind of mean really a lot of trouble. Look at the health right here on this Magmus, getting out of there with 28 hit points. 28, 19, he's still going down. This poison still hitting him, and now it looks like Valkyrie wants to go in here, but look at that. I think that's a haste. That is indeed a haste on that Nighthound, picking up a double kill up top, fresh after his kill there on Dr. Repulsor. Doesn't even have boots, but hey, with haste, you really don't need it. He has a movement speed of 522. That's the fastest you're going to go in this game. And really a nice rune pickup right there. And now he's going to be harassing the hell out of this Dr. Repulsor. Get it? Because he's Hellborn. He's harassing the hell out of... Yeah. Anyways, a lot of damage going off. And now, I don't know, overextending yourself too much. Tobacco able to do a good combo there onto that Nighthound. Your invis is not instant and it is not permanent. So a little bit of overextension. So, so far 3 kills. I think 2 fogged, which is... Engineer. Sorry, so 3 kills to Engineer, 2 to that Valkyrie, 2 to that Nighthound. So fun times. It looks like there's a port down south, because we got 3 heroes down here, all going in on the Gladiator. Gladiator very tanky. Actually, we got 4 heroes down here, but he's going to go down. That Pitfall, it does not look like it hit anyone, and as we all know in HoN, Pitfall victims fly into the air. So your argument is invalid. But Glacius was able to get out of there, no problem. So now, kind of having a little bit of an advantage, at least kill-wise, coming out here, or at least lane-wise, for this Hellborn team, because they've been able to pick it up a little bit ever since those first few kills. It looks like Nighthound wants a little bit more pieces of Dr. Repulsor. You know, let's just take a Magnet for every souvenir kill that we get on you. And we have a Magmus and a Valkyrie cycling into the mid. In fact, the entire Hellborn team is in this lower quadrant of the map, which kind of